The stream is live. Hi,
Oh,
everybody. Very happy Friday to you guys all. My name is Mike from Setlinn, and here I have with me Steven, my business partner from Opportunity Pulse, and also Abel, my close associate and also business partner. Today, we're going to be talking about two key skills that every migrant needs to succeed. Actually, not just in Germany, but abroad in general. The truth is, when you move abroad, you're going to hear a lot of stuff. People advise you on different things. But the things that matter are actually just a few things. And this truth will come not from your best friend, family members, or whoever, but people that actually have the experience. And it could be from a simple conversation like we're having this evening. So thank you for tuning in from wherever you are watching this. Before we proceed, I'd like my co-host Steven to briefly introduce himself, and then our special guest Abel is going to introduce himself, and then we dive into the topic for today. Steven.
Well, thank you so much, Mike, for this wonderful introduction. And thank you so much, Abel, for joining us today. I am very excited to be talking about this very important tool that most of us at times underestimate,
Yeah.
especially if you think about the journey of maybe leaving your homeland and going into a country where your language or the mother tongue is not really relevant anymore, then it becomes very critical to talk about this. So we're not talking about your passport, we're not talking about your degrees, we're talking about language, especially if you're living in a country like Germany. It can be very, very crucial. It can be crucial for making friendships, it can be crucial for making job appointments or meeting partners, and it can also be very crucial even to meeting your soulmates. So I'm so excited to talk about this topic today, and especially knowing that we are going to have a wonderful guest, a surprise guest who will talk about it in the context of education. Thank you so much.
Abel, please.
oh, cool. Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be here, Mike and Steven. I'm very happy to be here this day. And hello to everybody listening to us or watching us, wherever. I'm so joyful to be here. My name is Abel Yakubu. I'm the founder and CEO of Nexus Technologies. My background is in cloud and DevOps engineering for the last 10 years. So I'm just so happy to be here, Mike, and let's exchange ideas and knowledge to the public.
Awesome. So, without wasting further time, I'd like everyone to know that this live stream is brought to you by Setlinn, a platform that we are building to connect and inform people about migration. Information is very important before you migrate. Information is very important before you take any major step in your life. And we are doing the hard work of developing a platform that centers on connecting all key players in the migration space. You are a student, you're looking for professional work, you are a service provider. Setlinn is the platform that we are building for you. If you're not on Setlinn, and I do encourage you to create an account on Setlinn, just go to www.setlinn.com and sign up. Also, this is brought to you in collaboration with Opportunity Pulse. It's a non-profit agency that Steven and I own, helping to activate migrants living in Germany to access opportunities to them. Without wasting any further time, now we dive into the key parts of the skills sets that we want to talk about today. Steven already mentioned the value of language, and the truth is, um, the German language, in my opinion, is the alpha and omega of everything that you want to do in Germany. That's the truth. And you will also see this when you look at the lives of different foreigners living in Germany. You see how different their lifestyles are. Most times, the story that you tell about your experience, it's always really shaped by how much of these key skills that you have. Before we proceed, or rather, to going further, I'd like Steven to, yeah, just go further on the importance of the German language for someone who's living in Germany. Like, what are those things that you should pay attention to when it comes to the language? What are those opportunities or doors that can be opened to you? Yeah, Stephen, maybe you could just touch on this briefly before we proceed.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Mike. I was trying to join into my audience and then somehow I got locked out.
That's okay. Feel free to
Yeah.
do that, please, because we need everybody to hear this.
Yes. So, like you rightly said, Mike, language is a tool. Language is a key. But as any tool, if you don't use it, it can be dormant. It can be passive. So you could be speaking German, probably back home, you're learning it in a classroom, but if you don't use it, it's very hard to use it, can get rusty. And the same applies here to many migrants, because we understand the people that might be interested in this mainly are the migrants who are trying to make it here in Germany. So you can learn language, but the number one key to learning and improving and perfecting your language skills is by using it. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfect, but you can perfect it as you continue to speak, because only once you start speaking and engaging the people, that's when you start reflecting about mistakes, and also you keep getting feedback as you keep using the language. So for me, what I find language here to be extremely important for is, number one, if you're looking at career growth. And in Germany, as I mentioned in most of our interaction before, Mike, we have an issue of underutilized skills. And that was exactly the reason why you and I thought about Opportunity Pulse, because
Right.
there's so many people that are here that are well qualified, whose skills are not fully utilized. And the reason, or the number one reason, being that wherever they go, the doors are closed because they lack the language. Not that they lack the technical abilities, but they don't have the ability to translate the knowledge and the skills and the experiences that they have because of the lack of language. Is that something good? That's a question for debate, because I believe that Germany is also a country that should open up more to English and other languages. But you should understand that if I am the employer and my key audience or my target market are German speakers, I have not so much leverage on changing the language of communication. So I would try to encourage my workers to learn the language of the country. So this is the number one benefit of language, that it helps migrants or experts to gain career growth. And that means updating or upskilling their skills or going for better positions than just the typical one that many people subscribe us to, but also increasing their stability on job, because in some cases there are jobs where you could get at the lower level managerial positions, but with language skills, as you keep getting more responsibilities. Let's say you're working in human resources, or you're working into a legal department where there's so much language skills required, or if you are a psychologist and you need to be able to articulate yourself, or if you are working into business and taxation as a tax advisor, and you find that the people that you're working with need language. So with more language command, or with the command of the language, also comes job stability. But also what I find in the area of career growth is the recognition. Your qualifications are on one side important, but the way you're able to articulate and command the language can give you the professional recognition if you're able to operate in that language very well. I think there are quite a number of other benefits that we can look at maybe at a later stage, but one that I feel that is also very important besides the career growth is the integration. Language is the key to integration. When we talk about integration, we are talking about things like, how do you even start with the simple tasks of registering yourself with a town hall? These simple bureaucracies, opening a bank account, or getting an insurance, or maybe being able to enroll your child, your daughter, at a kindergarten or in a primary, or enrolling your going to the employment agency to seek for support to find a job. Or what about looking for a house? Most of the information is provided in the German language. If you go to most of the platforms, when the contracts that you sign are going to be in German language. So when we talk about that arrival and then being able to integrate, it becomes very pertinent that you speak, not only speak, but you're also able to interact with that language and also be able to question things in that language. So more other benefits we'll be exploring as we go on, but I find those two are very critical for migrants, especially if you come from somewhere and you want to make it here.
100%, 100%. I mean, I couldn't agree more with you, Stevie. Now, on the other side, there is also the digital skills that you need also as a migrant. and truly not just in Germany, but globally speaking. And I find it really interesting that Abel took the initiative it's a more proactive approach. It's like you don't wait until you get there before you begin to learn those skills. It's like, how do you become prepared to access opportunities globally? Abel, could you touch a bit on, yeah, let's start from your motivation for beginning to train people on digital skills needed for them to excel in professional careers abroad. Like, how did that start? What did you see? What made you feel the need for something like this to happen?
So thank you very much, Mike, for that question. That is very profound. Can you hear me clearly? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. Okay. So your question was like, or can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so it's like you're training people on digital skills, right? Especially those who want to move abroad or those living abroad already. Why did you start this? What did you see that made you feel like this is something important to do?
Yeah, so this is the reason why I founded this initiative to I call it knowledge sharing. I wouldn't call it training, as many people would.
Okay, knowledge
Because,
sharing. I'm going to
yeah,
correct that.
knowledge sharing, and the reason was that I realized that many people, whether those already in Germany, for example, migrants in Germany, we're talking about migrants right now.
Yeah,
They many people, when you come across a couple of people, many people, you realize they want to go into the tech space, right?
yeah.
I belong to a couple of groups. We play football, we do all kind of activities, and even from that, that group alone, I realized that many people want to go into tech, but they do not know where to start. It's just like
Okay,
they have the interest, or they say they have the interest, but the know-how is lacking. And I'm somebody who is very passionate about sharing my knowledge, even besides doing this as a business or as a startup right now. So I realized that it's important for people like myself who has been privileged to gain such valuable skills over the last decade, to like offer this opportunity and share it alongside my fellow brothers and sisters. And that's why I push this and make it a thing to assist people to to develop such tech skills. And because and one of the main reason is the times we are in is really important. It's critical for
100%.
anybody to know tech, even
Yeah.
if you feel like you don't need it, or you need to know computer technology. And I've been privileged, I've been fortunate to gain to have like working experience for many years. So
Hmm.
I just make this a mandate of mine. It's like a mission to empower people, and so far so good. I've been doing well, and people appreciate what we are doing at Next Edge, and we're going to take this up much more and make this a thing across even young professionals, young tech enthusiasts, especially those people. And yeah, so that's why I founded this, Mike.
Great. No, really. It is, so what's interesting here also is when you look at what Stephen and I are doing at Opportunity Pulse, we're doing
Yeah,
this from two ways. So we found out that there are lots of Germany is spending so much money to get skilled workers from abroad, but we
true.
know that there are lots of professionals here in Germany that are not fully engaged. And the question is, what's happening to this set of people? You know,
Exactly.
and what you find out that some of these guys they can actually take full position in those vacant opportunities in Germany that the country is spending, billions of euros on a yearly basis to bring people from abroad. So what you're doing is very relevant in the sense that it could also help activate these people. But more interesting than that is also that we are not just focused on um,
Mike, I think
Michael,
can you hear
Michael,
me?
you're losing your audio.
Yeah, I think you have audio issues.
Oh, he's not noticing it.
You have audio audio issues. Like we can't hear you. I can't hear. Steven, the same for you, right?
Yes, the same. So while Mike is trying to figure out that, and I would say he will bring the point to the end, I would like to use the chance now to invite a very special guest, Lumi, to actually answer this question, why she thinks language is key, particularly in what she's doing right now. So I'll invite my special guest, Lumi, to be right next to me here. Lumi, if you can just join me here. So
Hello.
That's Lumi, and I would like to give Lumi a chance, because if I start introducing her, it would take me a lot of time. I would say, Lumi, can you please introduce yourself briefly?
Okay. Hello, I am Lumi. I'm from Nigeria, and I am currently in my 3rd year studying nursing here in Berlin. My exams are very soon, next week, the week after. So yeah, that is a summary of who I am and what I'm doing.
So you can imagine how busy she is today. So getting her here was just a grace. So Lumi, we are discussing the topic of language, why language is very key, especially to migrants living here in Germany. Why do you think, in your case, it's even much more important?
In my case, nursing here in Germany, we help take care of a lot of older people. And with the older generation of Germans, English, even in a city like Berlin, where the international community is really, there's a high population of international students, international people in general, the elderly community is very much based on German speakers. Basically, most of them speak only German. And to be able to communicate with them, to be able to care for them, to be able to understand what they need, what they want, all of the things that go hand in hand with nursing, it's really important to know some German. But also as well, you know, even not just the elderly people as well, like the whole German system, to be able to understand it, because nursing is different depending on where you find yourself. You know, nursing in the US is different from when you go to the UK and vice versa, all of that. So to be able to understand the system as well, to be able to interact with your colleagues, to be able to interact in general, German is definitely very, very, very important. The importance cannot be overstated. Yeah. That is also German.
So, Mike, I guess we can't hear you yet. Probably I'll ask Lumi one follow-up question before I let her go. How has been your journey learning the German language, and where did it start? And can you give us an analysis of the stages of learning the language? Because it's very easy in the process of learning language to give up, because sometimes you don't see the progress you're making.
Yeah.
How has it been for you from day one and where you are right now?
So learning German was definitely not as easy for me, because the way I learned German online. I was actually a part of the school Mr. Steven was part of a few years back, the language school he was a part of. And it was also during the time of when the coronavirus, the lockdown, all of that was happening. So I couldn't travel here to Germany for the in-person classes, but they were able to provide us with an online alternative to learning German. But the thing with learning anything online really is you miss that. There's just something about being in person that online classes just can't replace. You know, the way you interact with your teachers, the way you interact with your classmates, and all of that is just different, you know. So that was where it started.
Mike, is that okay?
That was where it started. And then I just tried as much as possible, because they say with language learning, as much as possible, you should try to mimic how babies and children learn. So it's not so much about the grammar, but it's just about the use. You have to use the language as much as possible, and you have to expose yourself to the language as much as possible. So I did spend a lot of time watching a lot of TV shows, YouTube videos, things that just interested me, because if your input isn't interesting, then you're not going to learn anything. It's basically, you're just punishing yourself, basically. If you're just reviewing, like if you're so uninterested in I don't know, medical dramas where you just think, okay, it's in German, so anything in German I have to learn, but you're uninterested in that, then you are not going to learn anything, honestly. So that's part of what helped me in my language journey. And as well, I don't know, this is kind of controversial now, but back when I learned German, they said you should watch videos like with German subtitles, even if you don't understand every single thing that they're saying, and also watch the same video as many times as possible. So maybe the first time you watch it with German subtitles, you don't understand it, but you don't pause, you just watch it straight through. And the second time you watch it again, you look in the dictionary for words you don't understand. And then by the third time around, you would have looked up all the words you don't understand, and you finally be able to put two and two together, you know, and understand everything too. But as well, watching shows that you've also watched in English first, and then watching them in German again, also helped me too. So that's basically that's most of the things that helped me. But as well, getting here, I think everyone that learns a new language can testify to the fact that it's so difficult to get out of your comfort zone and actually speak to people in this language, because you're always thinking in the back of your mind, I sound so silly, they're going to laugh at me, my pronunciation is awkward, my accent is just, you just have all these thoughts in your mind. But in my time here, most of the things that I've always heard is like people are just shocked, oh, you speak German, or your German is so good. That's most of the feedback that I get. So I would say once you get, because the only way you will get better at a language is if you use it. But if you don't use it and you're too scared, then you're not going to get better at all. You're just going to remain where you are. So you definitely need to overcome that fear and speak in spite of the fear. And usually, unless the people are really mean, usually people would be really happy to speak with you, like in German, they would even praise you, you know, for taking the time out to learn the language. Yeah.
Super, super good. Thank you so much, Lumi. And before I let you go, now this would be to our German speakers, because we also have a lot of German speakers who are following us on this podcast.
Ja.
Vielleicht könntest du das einfach kurz auf Deutsch zusammenfassen. Das, was alles gesagt.
Okay, ich versuche es.
Oder andersrum, Lumi, kannst du unser deutsches Zuschauern sagen, warum geben wir so viele Mühe, diese Sprache zu lernen? Und was brauchen wir eigentlich von den Deutschen?
Ja, also ich muss sagen, dass man erstmal, das ist nicht überall der Fall, aber als, ich sage, Nicht-Deutsche, ist das schon schwierig, also hier von einem anderen Land zu kommen und sich integrieren zu möchten, aber diese Spannung also zu merken, zu fühlen, also dass man nicht so wirklich akzeptiert würde, dadurch, dass man aus einem anderen Land kommt. Und ich finde, dass, also wenn man die Sprache schon beherrscht, hilft das ein bisschen, also dass man ein bisschen akzeptiert wird quasi von den, genau, von anderen Leuten oder von den Deutschen, wenn ich das so sagen darf. Und das ist es halt, was wir aus anderen Ländern versuchen zu erreichen. Also wir versuchen, klar, wir können zwar, oder wir versuchen halt, uns selbst zu finden hier in einem fremden Land, und wir versuchen uns hier irgendwie zu integrieren. Und das ist also der Grund dafür, warum wir versuchen diese Sprache zu lernen. Und wir möchten oder wir brauchen, ich kann natürlich nur für mich sprechen, aber ich würde es gerne haben, also wenn die einfach mit mir geduldig sind, weil das ist nicht meine Muttersprache. Ich kann das nur seit 3 Jahren und die können das schon seit 20 oder 50 Jahren. Also das ist kein Vergleich. Genau, also damit man Geduld hat mit anderen, weil es ist nicht so, als ob wir keine Mühe geben. Doch, wir geben uns wirklich Mühe. Aber wie gesagt, also mit dieser Sprache zum Teil, wenn wir aus, keine Ahnung, Ländern die ganz anderen Buchstaben haben zum Beispiel, ist das eine andere, da kommt mit viele Schwierigkeiten mit. Also auf jeden Fall viel Geduld und dass sie versuchen in uns, also in unsere Schuhe hineinzu, dass sie unsere Gefühle quasi versuchen, uns zu verstehen halt. Also wenn wir sagen oder wir brauchen das, dass sie nicht halt mit dieser, dass sie nicht denken, oh, das sind so Ausländer, die möchten so viel oder die möchten uns stören oder die möchten was nehmen von uns. Nein, wir möchten halt integriert werden, akzeptiert werden und wir möchten normal leben, normal arbeiten, normal Freunde treffen, Freunde machen, Kontakt knüpfen, alles wie normale Menschen halt. Genau, also das sind die zwei Sachen. Einfach Geduld und Verständnis.
Fantastisch.
Und Akzeptanz.
Sehr gut. Vielen, vielen Dank, Lumi.
Gerne.
Das war wirklich schön. Danke, dass du hier warst.
Sehr gerne.
Ja.
Very nice, Lumi.
Bye.
Und viel Erfolg.
Dankeschön.
So, super, vielen Dank. Lumi ist gerade mal 3 Jahre in Deutschland. 3 Jahre. Stell mal vor. So 3 years, and yeah, I can honestly say she's so far one of the best students I've ever brought to Germany. Language takes effort, it takes hard work, and she's one of those students from day one, I believe, that knew what she wanted. She was very intentional about what she wanted, and she followed her goals. And in 3 days, she's going to be starting her state exams. So yeah, that's what language can do. Yeah.
That's very inspiring, Steven. It's
You're
very,
welcome.
like people listening to us, it's important to develop language skills because I can feel it. Like I can feel the fact that I'm already feeling the fact that I needed to have learned German, and unfortunately, my proficiency in German is not as good as Steven and Mike. So don't be like me. Make sure if you're new in Germany, you push yourself to develop language skills. And for me now, I'm trying to learn to improve my language to proficient level of B2 and C1 because I need it. I can see the importance as a founder now that I'm deep into startup development and stuff. So it's important for you to, as much as you can, you're building yourself in whatever area of interest you are in, your profession. Make sure you develop language skills, and you cannot go wrong with language skills and your skill. Push yourself. I know, like, I cannot go back in time, but I wish I continued my language journey and I didn't stop it at the time in 2020. Okay. Lumi, that's very inspiring. Thank you, Stephen, for bringing her on board.
Oh, it was a pleasure. As I said, Lumi is preparing for exams. I am so grateful that she accepted the invitation to join us, but I felt like she was a real input to this discussion because she's living the language.
She's very important.
Especially if you're working in the healthcare sector here, there is no way about the language. You have to learn the language. So you wouldn't be surprised how good she is when she's talking to her patients, to her colleagues, and in the classroom. So she's such an input to the person, anyone that she's talking to. Yeah, it looks like we lost Mike once again, and
Mike is having audio issues, I think.
Yeah, the technical guy is been made jobless today. So I guess I will be having to take over this session before Mike joins us. And you know, Abel, you're one person that ever since we met, that was in Hamburg, at that big conference. And since then, I've been really learning and following you and being inspired by the things that you do. Maybe I would like to give you a chance, Abel, even to help our viewers to understand who is this gentleman in front of their screens.
Yeah, okay, good. So like thank you very much, Stephen, for for your kind words to me. My name is Abel or Abel, however you prefer to call it. You are right. And I live in Germany, Berlin precisely, and I've been here for the past 6 years. I'm originally from Nigeria, and my background is in cloud. I'm a tech professional. I've done a whole lot of things in the tech space, particularly in the cloud DevOps, platform engineering space, as well as AI in recent times. So yeah, this is me. I'm just an easygoing person. I'm very happy. I like to keep it happy and loving at all times. So if you see me, just know it's all positive and happy vibes. I founded Next Edge Technologies last year, and the aim for Next Edge is to do a couple of things, but primarily one of our biggest objective is to empower people to develop tech skills, especially in cloud and AI engineering, as well as cybersecurity, which is coming up. So the deep side of tech is our interest because we believe that it's important for everybody to be in tech inclined. Because the times you're entering is so important. You need to know engineering things. It's not just enough to say, "Oh, I don't like coding." Everybody is now have the opportunity to be a coder. Now with AI, you can be a coder. You just need to understand what this does. So we are in a very interesting time, and it's just we're in the beginning. You hear many experts out there, Jason Wang, Elon Musk, these guys that have been there, the richest people in the world, telling you to double up in this area, level up in AI, go deep into these technologies, so that when the time comes where all this thing becomes mainstream, you won't be left behind. So we are doing our part to ensure that we equip people or empower people to learn this, and we particularly focused on our community, the African community, and Nigeria and other African countries. And we are so passionate about this. The founders of the company, we are so passionate to share our knowledge. I have 10 years of experience in this. My other colleagues, they have over 10 years. Some even are more experienced than myself. And we're just bringing this to people to make sure that we do not get left behind, because um, as you all know, we will not shy away from it. We are still trying to catch up in terms of development, even as a society, as a collective. So we will do our part to make sure that a lot of us, a lot of our people, brothers and sisters, are having the opportunity to learn these from the best hands available, and not just learning to say I'm learning, to be practical about it, to show what you can do, not just to say, oh, I'm learning this, or okay, and just giving an excuse here and there. It's all about hands-on development, and that's with that you will not go wrong. So, Stephen, I don't know if you have any other question. Let me
Of
just let me not
of
just run all through.
course, I have several questions. So you have said something very important about when we think about tech, we all believe, or there is that myth that I need to be tech savvy, I need to know how to program, I need to know how to do JavaScript and so on, which is not bad if you can actively teach it yourself. But let me know, for any users or any migrant, very basic users of digital platforms or solutions, what are some of the skills that are unbelievably, like, we cannot live away without?
Yeah, so skills you need. So it depends on whatever profession a person does.
Mm,
But regardless of what you do,
mm,
you will use toolings, technological tools, right?
mm,
Um, I like to advise people to engineer things. This is my best approach. If you
mm,
try to, no matter the depth, the level of depth you go into this technology, no matter the level, the engineering side opens your eyes to many possibilities.
mm,
So, for example, I would always advise people to learn cloud computing. What you hear, AWS, Stevie, you know that, right? AWS,
yeah, yes.
Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, all these cloud
Mm,
platforms. Just
mm,
know what they're all about. Try to be hands-on in these things. you will be amazed at what you can do, how your mind will be open, your ideas will be, blown up, because you see these technologies in its real form, and all the things in tech, these all digital things are cloud based, that on the cloud. Anything you can imagine, all the software that people like to enjoy, this thing we are doing on live, this all these live platforms, social media all of them are on the cloud. The cloud powers them. So if you have that understanding, it can make you, pivot into different areas of interest. We are in the AI world now. Everything, the AI itself, it's heavy on the cloud. The AI relies on the cloud for almost, if not the large percentage of their operations. So if you pick up skill in that area, you can now go direct yourself into, maybe if you're not interested in machine learning conversations, you can now go and build such a skill, data analytics, data engineering, and the likes of them. Even just general IT, customer service, and stuff like that. It will encourage you to see things. So that's what I don't know if I answered that clearly,
It,
Stephen.
it makes a lot of sense. If I try to make it very simple for people like me who are lay users of this, so you're trying to tell me, if I use the analogy of food, I should not just be interested in tasting the food when it's already at the table, but to go back door and look in the kitchen.
I like that.
And I see, how did you prepare this food? What are the ingredients in this food?
Yeah.
Is there any other way I can prepare it? And what will be the final product if I used it in a different way? Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. That's an interesting analogy. I'll be using that as well. So just get an understanding on how things work. That's basically it. How things work behind the scenes. For example, people who are learning, who are coming to our trainings, for the people who are not, do not have, they have zero background in tech. The moment they come after a few chapters of learning, they now start realizing, oh, so before Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all these platforms, before they become what they are, many things happen, right? So they are seeing those things, they understand, oh, virtual machines, oh, virtual networking, oh, they are seeing database, they're understanding. Even if they are learning and they're seeing, okay, so this thing is what being, so that's exactly what I'm saying. You might, yes, from now you might still stay in your profession to do whatever you are doing or what you're passionate about, but the fact that you understand tech, computer tech, to a deeper level, you can apply that knowledge. That's why you see some people, they understand these technologies. They're not necessarily engineers on an everyday basis, but they can build solutions that are going to be powered by this, by these technologies. You get what I mean? So, they might not be engineers, but they know, okay, this works and this, and that's exactly what we are talking about. And if you want to still put yourself in that to become an engineer and apply this knowledge as a profession, you are highly welcome.
Okay.
Especially, young professionals. This is even more relevant for young people. More young people, the times we are in now, young people need to put their hand. Parents need to encourage their youngsters, 17, 16-year-old, fresh out of high school, to go and touch these technologies. Don't just wait for Microsoft Excel's, basic. Sorry to say, but not like they're bad. They should touch things as they're advancing into, tertiary education, so that they can be involved in what they can know what's happening in the industry, and put this into practice, and even develop a solution that can be groundbreaking at 17, 18. Especially for us, African people that we are trying to develop rapidly. We need to pass on this knowledge. And that's why I'm so passionate about just sharing my knowledge. I know many of my brethren who are fortunate to be experts, they can also be encouraged to do the same. Whatever platform you're listening to us, let us put our head in the game,
Yeah.
and we will not go wrong at all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, because you really touched so many important points. But I think for me, what stands out is the ability to always keep trying, and testing things out of curiosity,
Exactly.
even because there is nothing that can go wrong. The thing is, the platforms are there, and most of these platforms provide us free access. They're the free versions of each platform, so we can go and try it out and see how it works from the back end. I would like to shout out to all our viewers and followers who are watching us. We have quite a number of them on LinkedIn. We got quite a number of people who are following us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So if there are any questions that you have for Abel, please feel free to chat in there. Mike is at the back end. He'll be able to see and pass on that to us. Would also like to shout out to the key partners with this, with Setlinn. Setlinn is the Facebook for migrants who are willing to look or who are seeking information about settling in. Wherever you are, there is someone who is there who is willing to share the knowledge. So Setlinn provide that kind of platform, which is free. You can just set up an account. Then you're able to tap into the community knowledge that everyone else will be sharing, whether it is on migration, whether it is on scholarship or jobs, healthcare, and so on. So please reach out to that. And Abel, I would like to go back to this question. Now that you've broken it down to what we need, the skills that we need to learn about these skills because they are going to dominate the future.
Exactly.
Recently, I was attending a conference. We are in this educators conference where there was a discussion about the use of AI and machine learning and how it's going to take away so many jobs. And there is that fear, like that monster that people are looking at and thinking it's coming to me. Is it coming for my job? Am I the next person? And there was so much that were discussed on that day. But then there is one of the presenters who said something that really struck and is stuck up to today, that AI, machine learning, robotics, they're not going to take away your jobs, but the people that know how to use those tools will take your jobs. Can you please elaborate more on that?
Absolutely, that's very profound from whoever said that, and shout outs to him or her. Yeah, these technologies are not going to take anybody's job. It is the people who use the technologies that will take your job if you're not, using the technology. So that's just why it's just the same way humanity have advanced over many centuries or decades and stuff like that. Many years ago, when we didn't have the internet, there were many roles, right? The internet came forth as an advancement in technology and changed everything. You see, almost, is there any job business that is not powered by the internet, Stephen? Do you think so? No matter how mundane that business is, it's one way or the other going to be powered by the internet, either maybe phone calls or whatever. The internet has changed everything. It is the same way AI is going to impact everything as well. So anybody who is saying, "Oh, they don't like AI is evil," this and that, you might just be sleeping. Why people are, doubling down and developing and using these things. People are even becoming engineers of it. You are there complaining. You think everything. Humanity, we are advancing. Like, it's just the nature of things. So you need to put you see companies, the wealthiest companies in the world, they are investing. Apple now is now going into the AI game. They were behind before, behind the big tech, but now they are seeing, oh, we need to also go deep. They are spending a lot of resources to put their head in the race, and you are there complaining. So AI is not going to take anybody's job. It is the people who use the solution that will, if you want to use the word, take your job. But it's important to know that AI is going to impact all industries, and we can already see it happening already. And it's not just because it's just for productivity, it's to make life much better and faster. That's the idea. It's just technological advancement. So it's not necessarily a bad. I know people have concern. Even I, as a person, I can see, okay, they need to be the players, and these the biggest players. You see many of them founding safe. They're talking about safe AI and and stuff like that. Facebook is pushing their own Meta, because they know that, okay, as much as that is important, we are not going to just sit and say, okay, AI is going to destroy us. Humans will always find a way around these things. We're not just going to stay back and allow it destroy us. So anybody who is not yet putting their head into this should try to do that. It's not too late. We are actually not even halfway into all of this yet. We are still about 20-30% into all this. It will become mainstream at some point where it's everywhere, and you don't want to wait till that time till it's mainstream before you want to start even entering such conversations. So AI is not taking anybody's job. It's the people who use this, that they will use it to be more productive and more valuable, and they will have more opportunities for gainful
Yeah,
employment. Right,
wonderful.
Stephen?
Absolutely, you're making a lot of sense. AI will not take your job, but the person who knows how to use it might come for your job, or
Yes,
might get, yeah,
regardless of your profession. That is
regardless
very
of your
important.
profession, because it's crossing all professions.
Yes.
Which brings me to the next question, Abe, which is one I keep getting when I do a lot of career guidance and fairs and seminars. And when I talk to students and career teachers, they keep asking me, what are the subjects or the courses or program that we should now look into that are going to influence the next jobs of the future? Do you have an idea? What could be the most important thing that they need to learn right now, or choose which kind of programs should they choose that will have an impact on their job prospects of the future?
If you're talking about maybe the classical educational
Yeah,
curriculum kind of thing, the
or a
obvious,
combination of,
okay, combination. So yeah, to be the good thing, just to make it clear, the good thing is you don't even need to study computer science or those tech, electrical electronics. I studied electrical electronics in university. You don't need to study all those things anymore. Information technology and all that. With learning opportunities now available everywhere, whether you even know what computer is, you can, as long as you have the interest, you can develop this skill. So it's not about a subject area anymore. Back in the day, 20 years ago, everybody wants to become computer software engineer. You see parents pushing their kids. I was pushed. Okay, no, I love to become an engineer because I was a good student in sciences. So the people in the STEM field, sciences, they thrive. Many of them thrive in the tech space back then. But nowadays, it's a bit easier than before, because nowadays you don't even really need to, you know, do a lot of things like many years ago. Now AI has even made learning to be even much more easier. To be very honest, that's why you see many learning platforms are thriving, because it has become much easier even to troubleshoot for problems. It's easier nowadays compared to even 6 years ago. It was really difficult to, like, engineers will tell you to troubleshoot for problem back in it, like years back. We use a platform called Stack Overflow for those things. Now AI makes it even a lot more easier, 100 times easier. I doubt if many people are even going to Stack anymore. You understand what I mean? So now that's even from an engineer who is sound. Now imagine somebody trying to develop. It's even a lot easier if they just have the interest. All you need to have, I promise you, is to have the interest, and it becomes easy. It's not even anymore. Should we say rocket science? It's not as complex as people think. Just come, put the interest to learn, be realistic in your learning approach, show up, and I assure you, you will learn this. And with time, it becomes very easy. So, whatever subject, if you're a nurse right now and you're thinking, oh, I don't mind becoming a tech professional. I would like to explore AI engineering or machine learning. like cloud engineering, DevOps, all these roles you're hearing. I can do it. Yes, you can do it. Just go for it. You have the
But
interest, go for it and develop the skill. It's a lot more easier now. There are many learning platforms.
mm,
The biggest ones, the top ones, Udemy. There's even YouTube, many materials on YouTube.
mm,
The Coursera, all these learning platforms, they make things easy now. Trust me. If you don't want that, maybe if you want live classes, that's where uh, outfits like Next Edge and other learning platforms exist to offer live courses for you and guide you on this journey. Trust me, it's a lot easy. You don't need to be a computer scientist or
mm.
electrical electronics engineer anymore, or a physicist and all those. No.
Mm. Very interesting. It's good that you say just do it and just start. And in the end, you almost touched the question I was going to ask next. Okay, now that I know how important all these tools are, where can I start from? Where can I find them? So you've mentioned even a couple of them. You've mentioned
Yeah.
Udemy, you've mentioned Coursera, you've mentioned Google courses, there are YouTube courses, even from some of the top universities, the likes of MIT, and so they offer some of these courses for free on YouTube. But important also at Next Age, you also offer some courses that people can actually tap into and learn at ease without any judgment, without any fear. It's a safe space. And
Very
I would
true.
like also to shout out to Opportunity Pulse. We are having two upcoming programs that are going to be running. And one of these will be in the line of language, because we spoke about the importance of language at the beginning, that language is going to be so key in helping us to boost our careers in integration, tapping into opportunities, but even learning some of these skills. You find that language is key, because some of the platforms, the languages are in the languages in German. But we also have the digital cafes where we could even be privileged to host people like Ebel, who will be inspiring and telling us what are some of the next tools that are going to impact our lives. So the digital cafes will be that kind of bridge to help us, for those who are not tech savvy, to break things down into real, like not a sound bite, but like sound that we can understand, sometimes even in our own languages. Whether you speak English or Swahili or Hausa or Igbo, you could find people that could break things down into our language. So that's the purpose of the digital cafes, and we'll try to break it down to a very simple, understandable, and biteable chunks, so that people can really make sure that they understand these are not just big dreams of tech people, but this is things that are going to impact us. Now, if I come back to you a bit as we are finalizing on this, what do you think is stopping many of us from venturing into these tools? And I would also request you to help us to understand the importance of branding, because I see you, I follow you, you're on most of the platforms, because what you're doing is so important. But no matter how good the product is, if you don't bring it out there to people, people will never know that you exist. We are doing a lot of good projects, but sometimes people still keep asking us, how come I didn't know that you exist? So you probably also help us to touch on the element of branding and those some of the soft skills that we need to learn to not only to network and to connect, but also to tap into opportunities if we already have some skills, but people don't know about our skills. Yeah.
Very, very vital question, Stephen. Thank you for that. For the first one question you asked, which is what is stopping a lot of people from going for this kind of developing digital skill,
Mm.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think in
Yes.
my view, the many people tend to be scared,
Mm.
and it's valid, to be very honest. It's not like I'm trying to, discredit that reason. Many people tend to be scared to go for the unknown. They feel like, oh, tech looks complex. Even looking at it from the outside, it looks like a whole lot of things, and they get discouraged even just listening to technical jargons from experts, which is
Mm.
another subject on its own. But I will tell you that it's not as fearful as you think. It's not even fearful at all, especially now. Just go for it. I come across people. What I'm doing now, I speak to many people who show interest, but at the same time, they change their mind due to the fact that you hear them. You even though they don't tell you, you know that okay, they are just scared. They tell you, okay, it's online. I want you to be there with me. You understand? So you know already that oh, this person is this lack of confidence. But I tell you, if you're one of those persons, you do not need to be even with the person. Just what I'll tell you is to make sure that you are careful of who you're learning from. For example, if you're going to a training program, a training company, people like Nextset, for example, or others, check what they've done, check their track record, check the people delivering this training. How they are, what do they stand for, what are their values as a human being. That can give you an idea as to how you are going to learn well from or learn what you want to learn. So it's important. Fear is normal, but I assure you that it's not fearful. Don't be scared. Anyone can learn this. I repeat, anyone. Don't allow I used to tell people, don't allow gatekeepers discourage you from these things. There are people who are gatekeepers tend to decide who should learn this or not. Disregard them, ignore them, don't bother about them. Just go for what you want and try your best. Then the other question you said, which is very important for people, who are already sound or have skills already, networking is absolutely important. How you even, position yourself, the kind of people around you. It's so important. If you associate yourself with downers and excuse makers, where are you going to get the opportunity? So you need to align yourself with people who are prospective, people who are, they have drive, they're ambitious. That and where do you find them? You find them everywhere. It's not even they don't sit there. You go and meet them. They exist everywhere. Now we're in the digital world, on LinkedIn, Facebook, every social media platform. Just go and align yourself with the right network, and I assure you that opportunities will come your way. And you need to also, another key point, whatever you do, even if you are a professional, wants to create things, the quality of things you do also matters. Like one of the things we try to push at Nexus Technology, we just don't want to offer training course in cloud AI and all that, because there are other people doing the same. But we want to be able to deliver high quality content so that people who learn from us, even if they are not our friends, they will be forced to say, "Oh, I have learned well from these people." That's what we try to push out a lot, and so far it's been great. So quality of the things you put out there, your persona, your attitude matters. Those little things, how you speak to people, how you encourage them, how you're kind to them, those little soft skills you have to learn, patience and all of that. And I assure you, if you package all this as a solution, you're going to be very much successful in your endeavors. Thank you,
Wow.
Steve.
Wow, you broke it down into all the important bites. The last point was really on key quality, but before that, you touched on meeting the right people and networking and getting out of your comfort zones. And the branding is very, very key, that people can identify you with that. And if you're a technical person, but people can, you don't even ever share or post or talk about anything technical, how will people ever know that you even can do anything technical? So it's very, very important that you share that. So thank you so much. We are coming at the end of this. And once again, I would like to say thank you so much, Mike. You've been there at the background trying to make things work. Shout out to you. Shout out to Ajirasoft digital platform solutions for anyone seeking knowledge on how to brand and make yourself visible online. Ajirasoft is the place to go. And of course, Opportunity Pulse, we are here to connect all the migrants here in Berlin and Germany. And I would like to give my friend and our host, our guest today, Abe, to give the parting shots. What would you like to say to someone who's just heard you today and has been so inspired and would like to keep learning and informing more about digital tools Maybe your last parting shots.
Yeah, so last words from me to anybody who has been encouraged to learn the tech skills that we're talking about. One thing you need to know is that the decision to develop skills is not the upside is I don't know how to even quantify it. There are so many upsides to developing digital skills. So go for it. Don't be discouraged. Don't feel like, oh, time is whether you like it or not, the time will pass. So you might as well use that time to also learn something important. Be not fearful. Choose the right platforms. If you want to speak to Next Edge Technologies to see what we're all about, you are welcome. Also, if you want to also try things for yourself, there are many materials online on YouTube. You'll find thousands of digital courses in the tech space, AI and all of that. You find people who are pushing this. You can also go on established learning online platforms, Udemy, Coursera, and just try things. The fact that you're even putting your mind towards these things, you just see the stars aligning for you. But if you sit down and give excuses, the year 2025 will come to an end very soon in a few months. Those of you who said in January, I want to learn tech, now we are in September or almost in September. So what are you waiting for? You see, it's all in your hands. So go for it. Be encouraged. It's not late at all, no matter your age. That's another important part. Some people feel like, oh, I'm in my 40s, I can't learn this. That is a big lie. Even people in their 60s can develop skills. So don't make yourself feel like, oh, you're old. You're not old. Nobody is exactly old. Okay, so go for it as long as you have the interest and you see there's so many upside. Like I said, you can use this for many things. You can build your own. You can use it. You can sell with it. You can do many things. You can even know how to think well with all this little tech skills. So I don't know. That's the last word for me. Be encouraged and believe in yourself. Align yourself with the right people, and I assure you, you will never go wrong.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Abel. I'm so grateful for your presence today and sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you so much to Next Age for allowing you to be with us today. And yeah, thank you so much on behalf of my co-host and my partner, Mike. Would like to say thank you and looking forward to the next session.
It's a pleasure, Steven. Thank you for having me. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.